Coming up next on the Met Report, Denver's Union Station is going to see some big changes.
And students have the opportunity to get free relationship counseling. Plus,
I'm Megan Sullivan. After December, don't count on the daily grind being a part of your campus routine.
I'm Walter Allen. We'll show you how road improvements by the Campus Village will make for a quieter neighborhood.
You're watching the Emmy Award-winning Met Report with Elisa Vasquez, Eric Lufer, and John Romero with sports. The Met Report starts now.
There are still many unanswered questions about the stabbing that happened in Parking Lot E last week. I'm Elisa Vasquez.
And I'm Eric Lufer. The new information we do have is a description of the suspect. Police say it was a 5'8" white male, 24 to 27 years old, that was caught breaking into a student's vehicle. The owner of the car confronted the suspect, who then stabbed the student in the leg. The victim is recovering well. If you have any information on this case, contact the Auraria Police Department.
Well, residents of the Campus Village may be getting more than they're paying for.
We're here with Walter Allen. And Walter, there was already a problem with false advertisement. Now this.
Well, you know what? You would think that these noise complaints would be because of loud college students. Instead, it's for something much, much louder. Student housing at Campus Village is convenient and close to campus, but it's even closer to a set of busy railroad tracks.
We noticed the trains going by the moment we saw the property. We've been working on buying the property for almost 4 years now. So we started back when this was an independent private development.
The designers took the trains into consideration when building the Campus Village.
These are triple pane windows. These are very expensive windows.
It actually works surprisingly well. Very little sound inside the building.
The Campus Village's efforts to soundproof their rooms has worked, in their opinion. But as far as students are concerned, they don't remember signing up for a free alarm clock.
They said something about like the windows being soundproof and that it wouldn't even be a bothersome issue to us.
You can hear them at 1, 2, 3 a.m. You're always waking up. It's ridiculous.
The horns themselves are not the only thing waking students up.
You can hear the things for the road, things to go down. Yeah, you can hear everything.
Ding, 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 ding.
Due to tenant complaints,
We
Signed a petition.
the Campus Village is applying for that area to be a quiet zone.
Well, I think that there certainly have been many created around the country. It's relatively new, so there isn't one in Colorado now.
The city could possibly make the Campus Village responsible for ensuring that area is safer for motorists and pedestrians.
There may be some dollars that we would be required to spend in order to create some improvements here where the railroad and the city would feel comfortable allowing this to be a quiet zone.
For some, this could be an inconvenience, but for the Campus Village,
It's a part of downtown urban living, the sounds of downtown.
the Campus Village and the city plan to meet in November, and depending on the outcome of that meeting, there could be some construction in our future, hopefully a quieter area. I mean, they can't stop the trains from coming through, but they can definitely get them to stop honking their horns, hopefully.
A lot of controversy over there.
A little bit, yeah. Well, that would annoy me if I'm trying to sleep. So.
That's right. All right, Walter, thank you.
You bet.
Before the end of the month, official negotiations will be put in place for one of the largest transportation projects in the country. This is our news covering Denver. Two developing teams are in the hunt for the new expansion that's going to happen. East West and Continuum Partners have been asked to explain their vision. This is one of the proposed ground plans. The new project will connect Denver's light rail and will implement a commuter train to DIA. The 19.5-acre addition will cost over $1 billion.
Last week was National Depression Screening Day. Colleges all over the country participated, including Metro. Students fill out surveys which measure anxiety and depression levels. Now, those surveys help healthcare professionals determine how many college students actually suffer from depression or other problems. Counselors attended, and depressed or not, many students feel that speaking with a counselor can be very helpful.
They're really attentive, and it's just, I think it's an incredible experience to have somebody who really wants to hear everything you have to say. I mean, I think that's a pretty cool experience.
The Counseling Center does recognize these growing problems. Last week, they sponsored the Love, Sex, and Lies awareness event to help students identify abuse in their own relationships. They offered free pizza, chair massages, and a brief counseling session to students willing to fill out a personal survey.
Sex and Lies is a chance for students to talk about their relationships. We know that in today's society there are a lot of issues in relationships, and we just thought as a campus community it's time to provide an outlet for people to come and talk about it.
All Metro students get 10 free sessions with the Counseling Center each year.
And those sessions can be used to talk about anything from relationship troubles to even your standard midterm stress. To schedule a session, call the Counseling Center at 303-556-3132. October is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Since we college students spend so much of our lives online, the Information Technology Department is sharing some safety tips, including choosing strong passwords and installing a firewall. For more security tips, visit Metro Connect.
Something I need to do.
Definitely.
I'll tell you that. It's very important. It's scary out there these days.
It really is. Today someone could easily steal your identity from just typical things we do online every day.
Coming up next, the Daily Grind is preparing to close its doors.
And one of our reporters has a paranormal experience.
For just $15 per semester, students at Metro State can take advantage of all the different ways to stay in shape, stay alert, and feel good. Campus Recreation offers group classes, an open gym to practice your game, a brand new climbing wall, and a fully equipped weight room for experts and beginners. The gym is open Monday through Saturday. For hours and more information, visit Metro Connect.
Visit themetreport.com to find the latest news, sports, campus life, and this newscast all in streaming video whenever you want it. You can also find out about the people behind the scenes, our awards, and watch old stories, all at themetreport.com.
The Daily Grind has become a routine stop for many Metro students. Owners Mark and Deb Arsenault have lost the battle with a big corporation on campus. Megan Sullivan has more on this story.
I think it's just sad that it's not gonna they're not gonna have a place like this on campus anymore.
Yeah, there's no other place on campus.
The Daily Grind is one of the few family-owned businesses left on campus. After a decade, the coffee house will be closing.
That kind of sucks. Now you got to go farther to get coffee, at least good coffee. Yeah, those machines are not the Daily Grind.
Is this the future for Auraria coffee drinkers? Where will we find our next regular jolt? Come December, we might have to resort to something like this. Mark, Deb, and their employees are sad to be leaving the Tivoli and have one message for their loyal customers.
Thanks to everyone that's come in for so long because, it's like we love everyone that comes in because we've got the regular customers and everything. So thank you, everyone.
Megan Sullivan for the Met Report.
Also, for those who might be interested, the Daily Grind will be selling their equipment upon closing. Cancer is the second leading cause of death in the United States. Metro journalist Jen LeBlanc experienced the devastating effects of cancer firsthand. On October 8, 2005, her mother died of cancer. You can read about Jen's struggle from the time her mother was diagnosed to the time of her death in this week's edition of the Metropolitan. You can also read up on Colorado's governor's candidates, Bob Beaupre and Bill Ritter. You can pick up a copy of the Metropolitan anywhere on campus.
Well, flu season is right around the corner, but there are some simple things that you can do to avoid becoming sick. First of all, you can avoid close contact with people who are sick. Make sure to wash your hands regularly, and along with that, avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. But the #1 tip to avoid getting the flu is to get vaccinated. And Metro is offering flu shots on campus for $18. Shots are first come, first serve until they run out of vaccination, so get there early. For a list of locations and days, visit Metro Connect.
Gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender student services set up camp near the flagpole on Central Campus this week. They were there to celebrate National Coming Out Day. Tables were set up with information on the student organization. There was also a table asking students to vote yes on equal rights.
We also wanted to, with our display, we wanted to highlight people in history, gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people in history, because sometimes people don't realize that the sexual orientation or gender identity of a lot of people that have been important.
Well, the movies have the Ghostbusters, but in real life, Denver has its very own paranormal investigative team. Reporter Angie Jepson met with the crew of FBI at haunted hotspot, The Melting Pot.
And what makes things even more interesting is that there were glitches with the video itself. Our photographer says he can't explain the weird technical issues he had with the camera, which FBI says could all be evidence of paranormal activity.
Every night, Coloradans flock to The Melting Pot in Littleton to experience the wonderful food and ambiance. But some visitors get a little more than they bargained for.
One of our investigators kept getting her butt grabbed.
That's just one of the many ghostly manifestations FBI experienced during the melting pot. By Drea Pendragon and Brannon Osborne, is an organization dedicated to the investigation of the paranormal. They use different approaches when investigating.
Our group is comprised primarily, half of our people are psychic based and half of our people are scientific based.
Their investigations have taken them to many different locations in and around Denver, including Cheeseman Park.
Or ghosts that maybe just kind of wander there, but maybe their hand is still there and their torso is over in Fairmount Cemetery.
And in case you're having ghost troubles, they do make house calls.
Well, Angie will be back with us next week for another FBI investigation.
Along with Halloween comes candy, and, well, more candy, especially for the young ones. This means thousands of calories, too many grams of fat, and in the long run, a potentially unhealthy youth. So what can we do to keep our kids healthy on Halloween night? Well, you can use alternative snacks that are still sweet, but good to eat. Chocolate is one of the prime candies given out on Halloween, and according to the Park West Medical Center in Knoxville, Tennessee, it's okay to hand this out to kids, but just give them 1 or 2 fun-size pieces instead of handfuls. This goes for all sugar-filled candies. But the best thing you could do is not to give out chocolate at all. Granola bars are a great snack. Mini boxes of raisins, animal crackers, and even fruit roll-ups are a much better alternative.
You know, health is important, Eric. I understand that, but give me my candy on Halloween. Come on, I want Starburst and
it's
Skittles
not for us.
and chocolate.
We can have all the chocolate we want. We're already old, so no big deal. But for the little kids...
Okay, all right. Start
pass
them
it
out
down to your
right.
parents,
Maybe they
hand out
won't
the
have
stuff.
as bad habits as we do.
Exactly.
All right, well, we'll be right back with John Romero in sports.
Coming up in sports, the road-weary runners return to the nest, and we'll take a look at what some of the big boys were doing on campus.
You know, Romy, a lot of people ask me how you get so excited about a sports program that does not have a football team. What do they know?
Met Report Sports, your #1 source for highlights, interviews, and all things Metro Athletics.
The Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference is a premier NCAA Division II athletic member. The RMAC consists of 14 prestigious institutions located in the states of Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, and New Mexico. The Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, continuing the tradition of excellence. Visit the RMAC at rmacsports.org.
Well, John Romero is back with us in sports. Glad you're feeling better. Welcome back. Just put you right back to work, didn't we?
You guys, you didn't give me a chance to come back. That's okay, though. Not even the knife of a surgeon can stop me. I miss being here. I miss the sports, and I am ready to rock. Let's do it.
All right, man.
After suffering their first loss of the season, your Metro State women's soccer team came back with a vengeance when they traveled to Pueblo to face the CSU Pueblo Thunderwolves. Jessica Brown and Justine Montoya each scored for the Runners as Metro came roaring back to take the match 5-0. In addition to the win, goalkeeper Rachel Zellner was yet again honored as the RMAC Defensive Player of the Week. This marks the second time this season that Zellner has taken the award. The Runners were back in action this time at home when they hosted the Incarnate Word Cardinals of San Antonio. Now, it's a well-known fact that I'm a San Antonio guy, but come on, that is just dirty play. Amira Ebel had to sport the Rip Hamilton look just to stay alive against the Cards. No matter though, after a Kylie Hanovan goal, Kiera Sharp takes care of business on a penalty kick to put the Runners up 2-0. Check out Kylie Hanovan taking one for the team as she sets up Kiera's second goal of the day, and the Runners roll to a 3-0 victory.
We came out right away, just pressured the ball and won and got our first goal, and that just pretty much set the tone for the rest of the game, and just continue with that and finish with a win.
Well, I thought the first half we got that early goal, and I think we kind of relaxed, and Incarnate played very well. The second half was much better. We possessed the ball, created a lot of chances, got a couple goals, and put it away, but it was a tale of two halves, like the cliche goes, and the second half was much better for us.
Now, one thing's for certain, the runners are refocused and poised to make a run at another national championship. On the men's side, Ken Parsons and company headed north to Montana, where they squared off with the Montana State Billings Yellow Jackets. The score was knotted at 1 in overtime when Samaral found an open fill-in for the goal. Runners win 2-1. It seems goalkeeper Jordan Ivey took a note out of Rachel Zellner's playbook. He was also named the RMAC Defensive Player of the Week. The runner keepers are on fire and are finally getting some well-deserved credit. The women's volleyball squad had been on a roll as of late, winning 6 of their last 8 as they headed to Kearney, Nebraska to take part in the final leg of the RMAC crossover. Julie Green and Stephanie Allison were unstoppable as usual, and freshman Amy Watanabe also came through as the runners finished up with a perfect 3-0 record in Nebraska. This now brings the runners to 9-4 in the RMAC, only 1 game out of first. Well, your hometown Denver Nuggets traveled from all the way across the street to host their annual blue and white scrimmage this week at the Nest. A few lucky kids were treated to an up-close and personal look at their NBA heroes, and sports reporter Stephen Peisman has the story.
Rocky and a few friends were at the Nest to play the Nuggets' annual Blue vs. White scrimmage in front of 1,500 students from Denver Public Schools.
What happened was 2 weeks ago, Coach Dunlap called me and said, would you guys want to have our scrimmage in your gym and have DPS kids come? George Carl was the one actually who had thought about it and thought of the idea and said, you know what, it's a good way to start paying Metro back for taking Coach Dunlap.
Though today's event brought the Denver Nuggets to the Nest and Mike Dunlap back for the first time since leaving Metro, the focus was on the kids and giving them the opportunity to see their favorite players in person, a chance they might not have gotten otherwise.
Oh, it's a great big deal to them. They just be able to come out and be part of the community event and get to see professional athletes, which they might not be able to do all the time.
Fan favorites Eduardo Nahara, Earl Boykins, Kmart, and of course Mello entertained the kids for 2 hours.
I liked it when they would go and slam dunk it. When cheerleaders started dancing. It was amazing. It was the first time I've ever been to like a basketball game.
And hopefully not the last time. Stephen Peisman, Met Report Sports.
Okay, kids, it's been a while, but it's once again time to sit back, be wowed, flabbergasted, and blown away by our Play of the Week, courtesy of the Denver Nuggets. Andre Miller tried to drive the lane against Mello, but he says, and says his teammate and the ball to the floor. Ouch.
Nice, that was a good one. I don't care who you're playing against, even if it is your own team, you go hard.
I'll tell you what, Kmart was out there. He was going at it all day. You were there with me.
It was
a lot of fun seeing them play up close and personal, but more importantly, the kids had an awesome time. You know, a lot of those kids had never seen the Nuggets play before, and if they had, they'd never been that close. So it was really cool for them to go out there, have some fun. You know, Eduardo Nahara and Marcus Camby talked a little bit about staying in school, and so it was just a lot of fun for the kids. A little bit loud, you know, they could yell a lot, but it was a good time.
It was a full gym, that's for sure.
You're telling
I wish
me.
I had a field trip like that.
I know, how fun.
Like
we never did anything. I just went to the Alamo. I'm from San Antonio. Went to the Alamo every year. It was boring.
Spaghetti Factory. I did that a couple times. Not fun. Not fun at all. John, thank you. That's going to do it for us on this edition of the Met Report. For John Romero and Elisa Vasquez, I'm Eric Lufer. We'll see you on campus.